Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining our task force call today on July 25th. I am Gina Johnson. I'm patient navigator for the Great Plains Colorectal Cancer Screening Initiative. And I guess we'd like to start our call off today with doing some introductions. So if you'd like to start, Stella.
Yes, sorry, I'm here. I took my headphones off and now I've got the computer audio, so I just unmuted myself. Good morning, everybody. My name is Stella C1 Zimmerman, and I'm the external evaluator for the Great Plains Colorectal Cancer Screening Initiative. Thank you for having me here. You can hear me okay, right? Okay.
Yeah, yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Neva and Stacy, do one of you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Neva Zephyr, and I'm the health educator at the Fort Thompson Indian Health Clinic in Fort Thompson, South Dakota.
Good morning, Neva. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, everyone. This is Stacy Burnett. I'm based in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and work with the American Cancer Society with a variety of partners to increase cancer screenings across the state.
Great. So we have a few other staff members here today. Stacy, Neva, and Stella. Looks like it's just the three of you on. We have, do you want to come say hi, you guys?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Eugene Gallego. I'm a patient navigator with the Great Plains Colorectal Cancer Screening Initiative.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Devereaux Yellow Earring, and I am a patient navigator, and I assist tribes in Nebraska and Iowa.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Chad Radian. I'm the program manager for the Colorectal Cancer Screening Initiative, and I look forward to the call today.
Thank you, guys. So that's our team here. We're going to go ahead and go over the agenda. So we're done the introductions. We're going to talk about some CRC screening guidelines, the task force evaluation, and we'll also provide some updates for our program and open the floor for discussion. So, whoa, why did it, oh, this got jumbled. Okay, so we'll start out with the screening recommendations. Recently, the American Cancer Society changed their screening recommendation age guideline to 45. However, we here at the Tribal Children's Health Board with our screening colorectal cancer program will still continue to advocate for screening age at 50 because that's what the U.S. Preventative Task Force as well as the CDC recommends is age 50, unless there's a family history of colorectal cancer or if the patient is experiencing symptoms. So we just wanted to touch base on that. So some of the objectives today that we want to take away from our call is knowing the importance of screening, understanding how a FluFit program can increase your screening rates and reduce the risk of colorectal cancer, and understanding how to implement a FluFit event in your facility. So some facts about colorectal cancer. As many of you know, colorectal cancer is preventable. It's prevalent throughout the nation and throughout the Great Plains. American Indian men and women have the second highest death rate and the third highest cancer incidence rate among all other Alaska Native populations. And those are rates here in the Great Plains. More than 50,000 people throughout the nation die from colorectal cancer, and it is the second leading cause of cancer death in the nation. Studies estimate that at least half of CRC cases throughout the U.S. could be prevented if everyone was screened at beginning at age 50. And like I mentioned earlier, some facilities are going to be screening at age 45. And like I said, also we're still encouraging people to start screening at 50, but you know, in case of family history, that can change depending upon that patient. So screening tests are done. They're just like checking blood pressure. They should be done at regular intervals. There are two aims for testing. One is prevention, finding the polyps to remove and prevent cancer through early detection. Testing is important because people can't always feel the symptoms and the abnormal growths that are inside of them. So the only way to find that is to get screened. So some advantages to taking the FIT test, the fecal immunochemical test, or the IFOB it's less expensive. With the FIT, there's no bowel preparation. You can also do it in the privacy of your home. There's no need for time off work. It's not as invasive as a colonoscopy. So these are just some of the advantages to taking a stool test. So eligibility for patients to be screened, they need to be 50 to 75 years of age, not taken a FIT in the past year, or a colonoscopy within the past 10 years. So to find that information out, you definitely want to review your charts and your electronic health records, print out a list of patients who are due for their FIT test, and you can use this list to reference when you do your flu-FIT clinic. When should a patient not be offered a flu-FIT? If the patient is less than 50 years old, you don't want to give them a FIT test. If they've had a colonoscopy in the past 10 years, again, if they've had that FIT test within the past year, or if they've had a history of Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, or if they're currently experiencing symptoms like rectal bleeding or blood in the stool. If these risk factors or symptoms are identified, the patient should be directed to a provider for an assessment, and appropriate diagnostic or screening recommendations can be determined then. People with risk factors shown here should begin screening at an earlier age. Again, these recommendations depend upon their patient risk profile. So the flu-FIT is launched during the flu season when we're doing our flu campaigns. So we want to give everybody a flu shot who is 6 months or older. Flu shots do not cause the flu. And according to the CDC, there's anywhere from 3,000 people to as high as 49,000 people a year who can die from complications from the flu. So what is flu-FIT? It's an evidence-based program that expands upon the impact of annual flu vaccinations by offering CRC screening resources. And just like CRC screenings, flu shots should be repeated every year. Annual CRC screenings are... Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. This is Lillian. Sorry I'm late.
This is who?
Lillian?
Okay, thank you for calling in this morning.
Good morning, this is Jackie Arpan.
Hi, Jackie. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so flu-FIT is just another step toward other preventative health screenings and interventions. You know, it's a great way to get people screened for colorectal cancer because they're already in a mindset for wellness and health prevention. So it's a great way to get them screened when they already have their health in mind and are there for that flu shot. So in planning for a flu-FIT program, you're definitely going to need to select somebody to take the lead in planning. You're going to want your team members. That can include physicians, physician assistants, public health nurses, community health representatives, staff from the lab, or even reception can help. You want to make sure that they're trained and that they understand patient eligibility for CRC screening, and that you have some talking points, which we'll go over, and materials about colorectal cancer and the importance of taking their screening every year. And you definitely want to advertise for that event as well. So for program setup, you want to train your team, organize your workflow, and include everybody in the planning process for that. You want to plan specific roles and tasks for each member of your team, and make sure each staff is comfortable with explaining and understanding this procedure. So you want to make sure you choose times and locations for your FluFit event, when and where to start, how to advertise. Are you going to do it via flyer, on Facebook, their local radio stations? Those are all good outlets to advertise your FluFit event. You also want to offer the FluFit before giving the flu shot. It just makes the process easier to give that patient their fit kit and explain the how to use it. And it helps that way. It helps with the line, so it's more efficient. And because after they get their flu shot, they're ready to leave. So you definitely want to get those patients that fit kit before. Can everybody please mute your phones? Thank you. So some more program setup information here. You want to provide patients with clear. Can everybody please mute your phone?
So Gina, this is Tina.
Yeah.
So who set this call up? Because you can, whoever that is, if it's.
Okay, we figured it out.
By the organizer.
Okay. All right.
I see Chad figured that out and muted me.
Yes, we did.
Sorry. Okay, everybody. So we're going to continue with the program setup. You want to make sure that you provide patients with clear instructions on how to take their fit test. Provide them a return envelope for that. And if they don't have their fit kit returned within 2 weeks, you want to make sure that you have a process set up to send patient reminders via postcard or phone calls to encourage them to get that fit completed and turned in. Okay, so you definitely need to develop a system to support the tracking process, which would include developing log sheets, tracking sheets for normal and abnormal fit tests. And you want to notify the patient and doctor whether those fit tests were positive or negative. And if normal, you just need to remind the patient that they need to return in 1 year for their flu shot and their fit test. A list can be useful to help to determine test return rates and dates, and to understand who needs to turn that in. So you definitely want to make sure you keep that follow-up process in place. So we're going to go over some good talking points for patients. So, some of the things you could say would be like, just like the flu shot, doctors recommend that you get your colon test every year. And you want to remind them that it is easy and that they can do it in the privacy of their own home, and they can mail it back. Or if you have a community health representative program in place, they can also coordinate with your FluFit program to return those completed fit tests. You want to keep the conversation light and simple. Colorectal cancer is a serious topic, so you want to say it to them in a nice way and keep it light and positive. You definitely want to advertise. You want to have attractive flyers. You want to make sure the date, time, and location are given. and you want to advertise on different outlets like we mentioned earlier via Facebook, the local radio, flyers, maybe at the local bingo halls if you guys have those in your communities. And you should also have the age group for eligible screening for those men and women that need to get their CRC test done, that 50 to 75 age. We've also got here some advertising that we've provided in the past to some of our programs throughout the Great Plains. We're happy to create these flyers for you. We understand that you all are very busy and sometimes don't have time to do things like that, so we're more than happy to do that. We have some templates that are already created, or we can, you know, go off whatever you have in mind. This is just another example of one of the flyers that we created for one of our communities for their FluFit event. And you want to make sure that you have materials available that, you know, talk about reducing the risk of colorectal cancer and why it's important to get screened. And, you know, it is preventable, it's treatable and beatable, and you want to make sure that you have that information and education available to patients. This is a slide that was developed in partnership with the state of South Dakota Health Department, North Dakota's Department of Health, GP Quinn, our organization, and some our partners at American Cancer Society. So this is just a nice diagram showing the flow for a FluFit program. And then this is an algorithm that was also provided through that partnership that shows the, you know, when to offer a fit and if no action is needed because they've had a colonoscopy. And so in conclusion, research has demonstrated that FluFit is an effective way to increase colorectal cancer screening, and it can improve screening rates among in a variety of settings. Using a multi-component intervention in a single clinical site can support a more organized screening program, potentially resulting in greater increases for screening rates. And it's a great way instead of relying on one single strategy. It's successful programs have written the FluFit into their policies, and it's the first step toward other preventative health screening interventions as well. And an example of that, once you've done a successful FluFit clinic, you can also include other services such as mammogram or smoking cessation referrals. FluFit programs are developed to support that screening. So we definitely want to encourage all of our partnerships and tribal programs within the area to consider doing a FluFit program this year and going forward. So this slide here, we wanted to advertise the Colorectal Cancer Summer School 2018 webinar series. There's going to be one next week on Tuesday, and that'll be July 31st, and the featured presenter for that is Dr. Lynn Butterly. She's a gastroenterologist from Lebanon, New Hampshire. Dr. Butterly was the lead creator for the New Hampshire Colorectal Cancer Screening Program, and she's affiliated with the Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center, and she's presenting on navigating patients through colorectal cancer screening. And the final presentation for this webinar series will be on August 28th, and if your schedule permits, please join us for both of those presentations. And as you can see there, those are our partners that we worked with for the FluFit, and these presentations should also be available online. And if you need help finding those, we're more than happy to get you those links. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask if, Jackie, do you want to include anything about the success of your FluFit program and any lessons learned that you've had from your FluFit experience? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I had it muted. All right. Hi, Jackie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. Can you hear me?
No, now we can. I'm sorry. I still had it on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay. We have done this for 3 years now, and we have worked out a lot of the kinks with the lab and referral system. So it's working good. We have good teamwork with the CHRs and public health nursing and myself. We got Thomas Kelly in the lab, and then we have a doctor that does the standing orders, signs them. Some of the things that the barriers that we had was or obstacles were the addresses and phone numbers. They weren't updated, so couldn't find a lot of them. Even sending out letters, they came back. And some problems with people not having permanent addresses. So if they were positive, I know we had a couple that we were having problems getting them sent out with colonoscopy. But other than that, after the 3rd year, we kind of got it going good. And people are asking to do the IFOP. So it is working good.
Well, that's really great to hear that you're getting patients asking about it, and that definitely shows that you're making an impact and they're more invested in their health because of that.
Yeah.
So that's good.
One of the big things too that's going to happen is that we have three of our major players retiring this year. Kathy Labonte and Brenda Mills and Sharon Richard Lazat. They're out retiring. So that's gonna, I don't know, that might have an impact on this year's if we get another grant.
Okay.
Gonna have different players.
Yeah, it's really sad to hear that all 3 of those women are leaving. They've been really helpful and very impactful with making this program a success.
Yes.
And as you too though, so you're there, you can kind of take the reins, I guess, and lead the way for Jody and whoever else is on board.
So yeah, we do have 3 positions that are going to need to be filled here because we have another nurse, with Heather.
Oh, is Heather leaving too?
She left, yeah. She left in June. So, I mean, she was detailed out and then she resigned in June. So that position's open. So we're just kind of talking about this grant and our team. But that's all I have to add today.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing with everybody, Jackie. We appreciate your input and feedback on that. Does anybody else have any shared stories that they'd like to talk about as far as your FluFit program? Neva, do you have any?
I do. We last year with our CRC grant, we actually did flu shots with the CRC, and I did that with the nurses, and we sat up 2 or 3 times at the local grocery store, and then we sat up 2 or 3 times here at the clinic and at the health fair. Yeah, so we've already been doing them together, the flu shots and the CRC, and it's been working really well. So yeah, so we're ready to go again.
Do you have any of the same challenges as Jackie as far as getting a hold of patients who might need to come back for a follow-up? Or
well, that's where the CHRs come in. What'd you say? I have the CHR in here with me, so she has a few things to say about it.
Great, please share.
One of the things, my name is Eva Fellis. I'm one of the CHRs at Fort Thompson Indian Health. And one of the things is that I work well with Neva here and also with the staff here, because I go out, if they can't find a patient, I usually know where they're at or where they live, whether it's out of one of the other districts. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah, and so I think we don't have as big of a issue as Jackie does because this is a small community. And so the people don't really move around a lot. So, and Eva knows everybody, so she can usually find them for us.
That's great. That's one of the great benefits of having a community health program, because they're able to, you know, they have those relationships with the patients.
Right.
Really
and they
good.
ask when this is going to be available again. So it's working very well for us here in Fort Thompson.
That's great. Right on. And then, so I guess we'll definitely try and get more of our local, our Great Plains area tribal communities to get on board with the Flu Fit. And in the future, we might again ask Neva and Jackie to kind of share your feedback with some of those sites who might be beginning their first year of a Flu Fit program. So if we could kind of reach out to you guys, that would be very helpful for us and for them to learn the ropes and, you know, to kind of guide them for what works and what doesn't.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I guess that's it for me for this portion of our presentation. I'm going to hand the presentation over to our other navigator, Mr. Devereaux Yellow Earring. Please come up. Down.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Devereaux, and my portion of the call today, I am going to be discussing the task force, the Great Plains Colorectal Cancer Task Force evaluation. My team has trusted me to try and make this task force more engaging, and we want to try to improve the experience that you guys have by being a part of this task force. So we created a quick survey. I think it's only like 5 or 6 questions. I'd like to encourage you all to participate in the survey and give us your honest feedback on your thoughts about the task force, some things that you might want to see done in the future. So the goal of this is just to try to make this colorectal cancer task force the best that it can be. And so I really value your feedback, your input, to try to do the best I can to help keep this task force going, keep the engagement up, and try to provide the best resources and materials for all of you. So I want to say thank you for being a part of our task force, and I look forward to hearing all the feedback that you have to offer, and I'm excited to continue moving forward with the task force. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the evaluation, just give us a call or shoot us an email and let us know. We're very open to hearing what you have to say about the task force. So I will be emailing out the Survey Monkey, the link out to the listserv that we created. So just keep an eye out for that. It's also a part of the presentation today, so feel free to go in there and click on the link and fill out the evaluation. So, but I will send it in a follow-up email, and once all the evaluations are collected, we will be sending out a report for you guys all to look at to see what kind of stuff we're going to be working on in the coming year. So, and that's it for my section of the call today. So thank you for your time. And next part of the call, Chad Radigan is going to speak with you guys.
Thanks, Deborah. Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to give a quick update on our colorectal cancer screening initiative RFP and application that's coming out. Currently, we have completed the application, and we're just waiting for CDC budget approval. We're hoping to have that here shortly. And then we're hoping to send out the applications the first week of August so that everybody can start applying for those. And this year, well, I guess in past years also, CDC is going to be reviewing them. And then once we get those reviewed and then we review them as a team, we're hoping to send out the awards probably mid-August to the end of August so that everybody's aware. We also are going to be sending out the sample portion of the application that's been attached to it prior. We're going to send that out as a completely separate attachment so that the sample documents don't get intermixed with the actual application aspect of it. And then if you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to myself or your navigators that are assigned to your areas. We're really looking forward to this year 4. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Up next, we're going to have Kendra from the VSEP program talk about their RFP here briefly. So.
Hi everyone, my name is Kendra Rowland and I am the program manager for our breast and cervical program. Like Chad said, we just released an RFP for applications to increase breast and cervical cancer in your communities, screening for that. And so what that entails is it's very similar to the CRC RFP in that they're the same evidence-based interventions. So if you currently have CRC funding to do that, you are eligible to apply for the VSEP program funding specific for breast and cervical cancer screenings. That RFP came out about 2 weeks ago, and yesterday we did a technical assistance webinar on that. So I will have Chad and the team send that out to anyone who may be interested in applying. The applications are due close of business on August 10th, and awards will be announced on August 17th. Other than that, if anyone has questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Tinka Duran. And then just a side note, my last day with the health board will be tomorrow. So we have Kelly LeBeau here who will have her introduce herself, and she will be the new program manager for the breast and cervical program. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Looks like they have my bio pulled up. So my name is Kelly LeBeau. I'm transitioning to the VSEP program manager, unfortunately, to replace Kendra. And I've actually been working with our Great Plains Tribal Epidemiology Center for the last couple of years with methamphetamine and suicide prevention initiative, domestic violence initiative, and various other programs. So, but I have a background in cancer. I work for the American Cancer Society. Gosh, it's been about 10 years now. And then prior to the health board, I worked on a couple projects for breast cancer screening presentations to the tribes over in Montana and Wyoming. So, so I feel I'm excited about this new possibility in joining the VSEP program, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Thank you.
Okay, so that was nice. Thank you, Kelly, for coming in and introducing yourself to everybody. So we're excited to be working with Kelly, and both of our program managers for the cancer programs are Cheyenne River, so that's pretty cool. So, does anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to share with our group today? Okay, well, I guess that's all that we have for now. Deborah will be sending out the link for the evaluation component for the task force, and we'll also be emailing you all a list to highlight what territories each of us navigators work in.
I have a question.
Okay. Hey, Tinka.
Hi, this is Tinka. Will you guys make these slides available via email to everybody, the task force listserv?
Yeah, we can definitely make these via task force available. Yeah, it is recorded too, so we can send that out. Okay, well, I guess if that's all that there is, then we will go ahead and end our quarterly task force call, and we will be also sending out a calendar of the upcoming calls for the year. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to working together with you and making this BlueFit season a success. And have a great rest of your summer, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome,
Thanks,
Eva.
Gina.
You're welcome, everybody.